The final round of the 2015 Blancpain Sprint Series and GT Series season takes place on the seaside in Zandvoort in the Netherlands. But before we get the action underway, let's look back at last time out at Misano. The qualifying race was a night race and it was spectacular. Sergio Jimenez getting a great drive away off the line. But up at the front, it was the Nissan chasing down the Ferrari for the lead of the race. But the most important battle came further back. Laurens Vanthoor trying to pass Jules Simkowiak and he was sent into the wall. The Audi driver out of the race. Fortunately, he got out of the car, but he took a fracture to the hip and to the leg, and as a result, he'll miss this weekend's racing in Zandvoort. The Rinaldi Ferrari went on to win the qualifying race and started the main race from pole position. Patrick Kujala initially took the lead for Lamborghini, but Marco Seefried fought back, retaking the lead at the outside, and he moved back into a lead that would become unassailable. The next car to pass the Lamborghini was the Bentley. Maximilian Buch and Vincent Abril hoping to take control of the championship after the retirement of the Vanthoor Audi. The Nissan was making places in the hands of Sean Walkinshaw as Buch got out to hand over to his teammate Vincent Abril, just getting behind the line before the Bentley pulled away. Then the pressure was on from Mirko Bortolotti. A slow pit stop from the Huracan team meant that he was further back. But then the fight was on as Craig Dolby first of all attacked the outside of the Brazilian BMW, but he couldn't quite make it through. Valdeno Brito just about managing to hold on to fourth position. It was a fantastic scrap between the pair of them, and Craig Dolby tried to do it again a lap later. This time the Always Evolving Motorsport seemed to have got the move done, but he took too much speed into turn 13 and ended up running wide again. As the rain started to come down, the Brazilian BMW held on to that fourth place. But despite the slippery conditions, the Rinaldi Ferrari held on to take a superb victory. They took pole position and won the qualifying race and the main race at Misano, bringing them into the title fight. For this weekend at Zandvoort, BMW Team Brazil will be hoping to finish the season strongly. They're lying second in the overall Blancpain GT Series Teams Championship and will be hoping they can consolidate it. Caca Bueno and Sergio Jimenez have been unfortunate this season in the Zero car, and Jimenez hopes they end the season well.
It's a very nice track, it's very challenging, it's very difficult, no place to mistake. So you need to be very focused all the time. The asphalt is very old, so this is making it more difficult because the car is very difficult to set up. But I think it's a challenge for all the drivers in the race.
Thanks to Vanthoor's injury and Enzo Ede having to miss this race, there's been a change around at WRT. In the number 2 car is going to be Frederik Vervisch and Nicky Tim. Nicky Tim making his Blancpain Sprint Series debut. Vervisch raced in Baku last year. But in the number 1 car, Robin Freins, the championship leader, is being joined by Christopher Mies, and at his home circuit, Freins is confident of the championship.
Zandvoort is, I think, a bit more an Audi track than a Bentley track, but we will see. The Bentley was quick in Misano as well, and we didn't expect that, so we will see after qualify where we are. We're still leading the championship by 8 points, so we have the biggest chance to win it. Yeah, it's good fun to drive here the last round of the Blancpain and hopefully get that title.
There's been a bit of a change around at the GT Russian team as well. 2 new drivers for this weekend. In the 71 car, Marco Asma, the Estonian, is partnered by Russian Roman Mavlanov, who's making his Blancpain Sprint Series debut, while in the number 70 car, Alexei Karachev, who is now the Pro-Am champion, is being joined by Indy Donchi. The local man lives just half an hour from Zandvoort, and he has raced with the GT Russian team before in the Blancpain Endurance Series. Despite it being his debut, he's very ambitious.
For me, the aim is top 8 qualifying, at least the Super Pole. That will be good for us. So yeah, let's aim for that, and in the race we will see where we end up. I think a lot can happen.
There's 2 Dutchmen at the wheel of the 83 Bentley as well. Jules Simkowiak and Max van Sprunteren teaming up once again in the Silver Cup. That car is a different car to the one that was written off by Simkowiak in the accident with Vanthoor in Misano. But in the 84 Bentley, that's where the championship could be decided. Max Buch and Vincent Abril just 8 points back from championship leaders Vanthoor and Freins, coming into the final race of the season.
I'm really happy to be in this position at the end of the year, when I thought what my expectations have been at the beginning of the season, where I just wanted to maybe have a podium finish with the new car to get used to everything, and being in the position to fight for the championship is just great. And I just give everything I have, like every race, and then we will see how how we end up. In 2013, when I won here with Alan Day, last year finishing P4, could have been podium with Maxi Götz, and I like it. It's kind of old school. I think it's a track also for the Bentley. In the fast corners we are really stable, having good aerodynamics. Struggling a bit in the tight part of the circuit, but it should be fine.
The Lamborghini Gallardo is here once again. Hans Reiter's team bringing the 88 car for Albert von Turn and Taxis, and another Dutchman, Nicky Katsberg. Katsberg has really stamped his authority as one of the top GT drivers around this season. The high point this year was winning the qualifying race in Moscow. A superb drive from the pair of them, and fingers crossed they'll have another weekend to remember here in the dunes.
I think we should be able to do pretty well. We did a little preparation here 2 weeks ago. We finished on the podium, so I think we should be good. Obviously, Audi are stepping up their game this weekend, so it might be tough, but we're gonna go for a podium. And I always like it here. It's a special track. It's, I would say, a hardcore track. If you go off, you're in the wall, and I quite like that. It's a bit of a challenge, so yeah, looking forward.
The always evolving motorsport Nissan looked set for a podium in Misano until a pit stop problem relegated them down the field. But still, there were some great comeback drives, and overall, Sean Walkinshaw is pretty satisfied with how his debut season in Blancpain has gone.
Overall, it's been pretty good, especially the last couple of rounds. We've been proving that both myself and Craig in the car are really strong together. It's taken us a little while to get up to speed, but it's also been, we've had quite a lot of bad luck this year, so it's good. Even at Misano, we had a problem in the pit stop when we probably would have been on the podium. Just hopefully this weekend we can have a very smooth weekend, no issues whatsoever, and show our true pace and get finally get the results.
When we arrived in Italy, the Rinaldi Ferrari had no real shot of taking the championship, but a perfect weekend means that they are now just 17 points off Vanthoor and Freyns at the top. Marco Seefried is unavailable this weekend, so it'll be Jeroen Bleekemolen in the car alongside Norbert Siedler, who always knew Misano would be strong.
I think we knew before that we could be quick there, and we have a chance to win that race, and we did it. Yeah, it was great for us. All the team did a great job, Marco as well, and yeah, we did it. We are trying our best, We are just 17 points away from Lawrence and from Prince. But anyway, we will push for the weekend, and I play Sharon as a teammate, and then at the end we will see what's happening.
It's the final qualifying race of the season here in Zandvoort. It's the weekend where the titles will be decided, and hopefully it'll be a very entertaining weekend of racing. My name's Jack Nichols. Alongside me in the commentary box on a beautiful October day is John Watson. 17.7 degrees the air temperature, track temperature 22.9. A lovely day to be in the dunes.
I mean, it's Indian summer weather here in Zandvoort. Look at that flock of sparrows or whatever they are. Magnificent circuit, magnificent day, and let's hope we have a magnificent sprint race.
Absolutely, and the sprint points title cannot be decided today, but the GT Series overall points can be. You can see there Robin Freyns and Laurens Vanthoor are currently 27 points clear of Maximilian Buch. So if Freyns finishes in front of Buch today, then he wraps up the overall Blancpain GT Series title, which is a combination of the endurance events and the sprint events. So whilst that'll be very keen for Robin Freyns to wrap up, the big focus is on the main Blancpain Sprint Series title. Here's a look at the grid ahead of the qualifying race, and on pole position is Maximilian Buch. Robin Freyns alongside him in the #1 WRT Audi. Then it's Nicky Thiem making his Blancpain Sprint Series debut. He'll be third on the grid ahead of Norbert Siedler, who's still in the championship fight. Winkelhock fifth and Katsberg in sixth position. Then it's seventh place for the Nissan of Craig Dolby. Mavlanov, a great performance in the GT Russian car to start there in eighth place. Then up into 11th place, you got Stippler and Sergio Jimenez. 13th and 14th for Vardena Brito and Philippe Salaquada, and the back row of the grid is going to be Anders Fjordbach and Max van Splunteren, who crashed in qualifying and as a result will have to start in 16th place. Round the final corner they come, waiting for the lights to go out and the final qualifying race of the season to get underway. Maximilian Buch on the Bentley is in pole position. Alongside him on the front row is Robin Freyns. The second row is Nicky Thiem and Norbert Siedler as we wait for racing to begin here in Zandvoort. Watch for the lights, there they go, and it's a great start from the Bentley. Also a good start from Nicky Thiem, who's looking to the inside, and the Ferrari's going to get through past Robin Freyns as well as they hurtle down towards turn one. Is the Ferrari of Siedler going to end up in third place? Freyns holds it around the outside and spins. Round goes the championship leader into the gravel trap, and he may well be beached.
Well, I was going to say what a poor start from Robin Friends. He had every opportunity to keep pace, and the contact coming through just before we get into the Hugenholz.
Off into the wall, and that is Anders Fjordback, and that'll bring out the yellow flag. We may even have to have the safety car if Robin Friends can't get out of there, but Bentley leads, and they are going to be laughing all the way to Sky Flag at the moment.
All you have to do is keep pace with the pole-sitting car. Robin Friends, he may have had a problem, we don't know. We're being, let's say, too critical about his poor start, but that allowed the field, the Ferrari and others around him, to swamp him. He tried to go around the outside, which is a doable thing here in Zandvoort, but on a set of tyres that's still probably not up to race temperature or race pressure, put himself under pressure, and the mistake came, and he's in the gravel. I mean, I couldn't have made it up if I tried.
So, Robin Friends in the gravel trap, and it doesn't look as though he's trying to get out of there. He desperately doesn't want assistance from the marshals, but it doesn't look as though there's going to be any options, and I can see the yellow flags and full course yellow boards being held out, and there is Robin Friends, and he is absolutely gutted.
Without being too hard on Robin Friends, I would not want to be in his position when I walk back into my team garage to explain that one away, and Laurens van Thor, his face, he's not looked a happy camper all weekend for fully understandable reasons, and that clearly...
I wouldn't be surprised if Friends got a tap down at turn 1. It looked to me as though either the Ferrari or his teammate got a little nudge. You'll see him on pole position, didn't get the best start in general.
More than a car length behind when they got to this start-finish line. Now he's back into third equal at best, and let's see, the Ferrari's on the inside. There's only so much. No, I think that was pretty much all on his own. Yeah. I would say he just lost the back of the car. Tire temperature, tire pressure, wrong part of the track, dirtier part of the racetrack. The higher up you are, all the negatives that were going to be available. Well, he pulled the lever on the old machine, and it came up lemon.
So Robin Friends will be dragged out of the gravel trap. The safety car is out, and this means they'll have to start the race tomorrow from the very back of the grid, which is even worse news really than they'll lose 8 points, and if it stays like this they'll lose the championship lead, but then they've got to start at the back of the field tomorrow.
But their joker in the pack is in second place, Nicky Team, who drove, in my opinion, one of the drives of the 24 Hours of Spa this year. He is in second place. He's obviously, it's irrelevant where far behind the Bentley he is. Robin Friends gets the car out, spins it up. There's gravel everywhere. You can see it coming from the back of the car as he pulls away. Now lost a lap. All he can do is join up to the tail of the field. And what recompense can he do from there? Nothing.
The safety car is coming in as they come around the final corner. Safety car pulls in, the racing gets back underway after a dramatic first corner here at Zandvoort, and it's Maximilian Buch who is leading across the line. Nicky Team's in second place with the WRT Audi, and then it's Norbert Seidler in third. Challenge on for fourth position as Nick Katzberg tries to get past Marcus Winkelhock, but he's not going to be close enough on the run into Tarzan this time through, and everyone's going to make it through safely on the dirty inside line now. And so now the race will begin to settle down with Maximilian Buch leading the way, just 0.7 of a second clear of Nicky Team at the moment, with Seidler in that third position. All line astern through there. This will be very interesting to see what Seidler can do. Then he's in that lime green 333 Ferrari. That's his teammate Jeroen Bleekemolen on the left-hand side. Thumbs up from him, because he's pretty happy, I think, with the position that Ferrari has ended itself up in as they come through the final corner at Arie Luijendijk. And across the line, the gap was just 3.5 of a second between Tim and Seidler last time through. Now as they come across the line, it's gone up by 1/10, but still Seidler is there, the back end getting away a little bit under braking, someone going defensive, that's the Brazilian BMW, and nevertheless here's the look up the inside, a very late move from Mavlinov, and he gets past, and Brito tries to fight back, isn't able to, so that is now 8th position.
Looking at the start again.
This
so there's the
Bentley.
Let's get a look and see if there is. Ferrari tries to come down the inside, squeezes alongside. And this is going to be the critical point of the corner, so lots of clear air at this point. Well, it's very difficult to tell. You sort of the way the car breaks away, you could say the way it broke away was quite quick.
Go on board with Sergio Jimenez. So Maxi Buch leading the way by 3 seconds, and if that stays like this, he and Vincent Abril will lead the championship by 1 point over Frans and Vanthor. Of course, Vanthor not racing this weekend. Seidler would still be in contention, but he'd be a little further back. What's that? 14 points off the lead of the championship. Still not an insurmountable advantage, but Abril and Buch, 1 point advantage, starting on pole position.
And that's the key. It's the pole position, the control of the start. Maximilian Buch did a brilliant job, brought it down to the start-finish lights. Lights went green, and he nailed it, and he just dropped Robin Freins. And as a consequence, that was then the beginning of that chain reaction that resulted in Freins ending up in the gravel trap. In my opinion, from what I've seen, and I've seen pretty much all the angles that are available to us as commentators, that it was a mistake from Freins.
This is side-by-side action coming down into the right-hander, and this is Van Splunteren trying to get past Philippe Salaquada for 12th position. Indy Donci's finally managed to do it then on that last lap. Indy Donci's got up into 11th place, and now it's Max Van Splunteren who is trying to get past Salaquada next in that 83 Bentley, and right behind them is Robin Freins. So in comes Norbert Seidler for the Rinaldi Ferrari team. He's the first man to pit of our leaders. Jeroen Blekemolen will take over.
The tail of the field are coming in, so there's no benefit for them to continue out.
So away goes Blekemolen.
Ferrari, and Jeroen Blekemolen is back out. Let's hope that was a good pit stop, a clean pit stop for the Ferrari.
There's Craig Dolby handing over to Sean Walkinshaw. Looked clean to me from just watching out the window, and it looked like it was a decent stop. A good pit stop as well from the Nissan boys, because that's been something that has hampered them over the last couple of, well, all season really. The pit stops, all that's going to be very close, and just coming out in front is going to be Stefan Ricalmi in front of Valdeno Brito and Attila Brunau at the wheel, and that is a change for position.
Yeah, that was a critical one as well, because it means that by getting ahead of the BMW, that's one less battle you have to worry about. You know, the battle between the Audis and the BMWs was not really, advantage to one or the other. Whereas Maximilian Buch is coming in. I'm surprised he's coming in so early. And is second place, Nicky Team. So basically, the principle is once your leaders come in, then everybody's going to follow in. And the first of the lead cars in was the Ferrari. So everybody else is now following the leader, and nobody wants to be out of step, so the Bentley comes to a stop.
So Buch in to hand over to Abril, and we've got Nicky Team in to hand over to Frederic Verviche.
So this is going to be an opportunity for WRT to get this car out ahead of the Bentley, but the Bentley boys doing a good job. There is the Ferrari, and it's going to be Jeroen Blekemolen is going to be not quick enough. The Bentley gets rolling. Where's the Audi? And Audi's further down the pit lane.
It's right at the end of the
still
pit
up
lane
on the jacks, and it's not down the tyre. The right, left, rear still. So it's going to be possibly a change for second and third. There is the Ferrari coming down the straight. Looks like the Audi's just about safe.
But there is some damage now on the Audi, on the number 2 Audi, and I'm not sure where it came from, whether it was from the pit stop or not, how long it's been there either, but the left side of the Audi has got some flappage going on up by sort of the rear window. So positions remain the same. There is Maximilian Buch, who's handed over to Abril, who continues to lead the way. Then it's Frederic Verviche in second place, and Jeroen Blekemolen in third position. Here's a look at the replay. And there is the damage, and we're not sure where it came from. And now has come Max Van Splunteren to hand over to Jules Simkowiak in the 83 HDB Bentley. So it had to start down at the back. Sounds like they've got a bit of a problem at the rear, but not too much drama as the car heads away and everyone else finishes their run. Anders Fjordbak handing over to Michael Markussen, the new Danish driver for this weekend. There is Nick Katzberg handing over to Albert von Turn and Taxis. And this could see them maybe gain a little bit of time here. I don't think it'll be quite enough to gain them a place, but it will be interesting to see how close they are to the Phoenix Audi and to the 333 Ferrari in front. There is Indy Donci coming in to hand over to Alexei Karachev, and away now goes the Lamborghini.
Yeah, problem getting it rolling. They just stalled the engine.
No, the engine's still going.
It's looking down to the right rear, that as if it hasn't loaded properly on onto the hub, so they put the gear gun on it again, but there's an issue and they can't decide what to do. Lift the car up, leave the car on the ground. In the meantime, the race leader, Vance Brill, goes through, so they decided to take the wheel off. It looks as if they didn't get the pegs and the dialing in the wheels located. And well, having a look at it, I mean, it's disaster, absolute disaster.
Now away finally goes Albert von Turnen Taxis, but that's a real shame for the rider team. This is Jules Simkowiak, who was on line to be the star of the weekend, really, until his teammate ended up in the gravel and qualifying. Here comes the attack from Christopher Mies, looking to the inside of the BMW, under the braking for Tarzan. We're on board with Mies, he's not quite going to get it done, and Jules Simkowiak will go, okay, I'll try and go all the way around the outside. I think Mies might have given Attila Abreu a little bit of a nudge there, and he gets through, and Simkowiak follows through as well. Well, and then for the number one car, that was not for position, so it doesn't even matter, but Simkowiak's move is now for 8th place.
Well, that was a strong move by Simkowiak, saw the opportunity, made it forcefully, but got through in relatively clean terms, and again is still facing the rear of the Audi of Christopher Mies. He wants to get ahead of that car, because if for no other reason, just for his own pride.
Oh, and off Simkowiak's just gone off at the chicane, and I think he's managed to recover. Just saw it at the top of the frame there. Here's a look at the replay on board with Christopher Mies. There we go.
Oh, it was a big under brakes, just simply locked it up under brakes.
Went proper off cross country there, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big, I mean, just all of a sudden these cars got ABS, so yeah, whether that was something went wrong with the ABS, or whether just simply he was just too aggressive on the brakes.
Big news for the championship, a drive-through penalty for car 333, the Rinaldi Racing Ferrari, for pit lane infringement, and that infringement was not controlling the wheel, so they've obviously let a wheel bounce out there. Meanwhile, oh, in too deep goes Walkinshaw, through goes Raquelme up into that position, and now Bueno's going to try and get through as well, and Walkinshaw might end up getting a little bit mugged here. The Brazilian BMW's on the outside coming towards the penultimate corner, not close enough. This is all going to play into the hands of Jules Simkowiak. There you can see confirmation at the top, drive-through penalty for 333, but now Walkinshaw's under pressure.
Yeah, he made it coming out of turn 10. He was being threatened by the Audi. He went to the right of the track, dirty part of the track, down into the Hans Ernst chicane, and wow, just saved.
And Simkowiak goes to the inside to get past Mies. They're going to hit each other, and Mies almost ends up in the gravel again, and Kaka Bueno dives back through to get past Simkowiak, but Simkowiak's still there on the outside coming up to Gerlach box, and he goes through, so Simkowiak makes up the place. The front bumper's almost totally gone.
Well, that's the charade round the bonnet, nevertheless.
7th place now for the Bentley.
Wow. I mean, that was tough. I mean, he came down the inside, forced the issue with the number one Audi. The Brazilian BMW slipped up along and tried to get through. And in the meantime,
there's a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, I mean, there you can see, if it's one clip him holding that body part in place, suspect it's not going to stay on an awful lot longer once it gets onto the straight. Wind pressure.
In comes Jeroen Bleekemolen then to serve his drive-through penalty. I think he's going to come out right in this fantastic scrap we've just seen, because he was about 20 seconds or so in front of them, and so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there as Bleekemolen comes through. So keep an eye out for this squabbling pack. He's at the end of the pit lane now. Here they come over the start-finish straight, and Raquelme is going to get past Bleekemolen. No, so it's only a one position drop for Jeroen Bleekemolen and the Rinaldi Ferrari team. So that is going from 3rd to 4th is not the worst thing that could have happened. You're going to be on the same row of the grid. You just lose one championship point. In the grand scheme of things, that was not too bad.
Probably not, but I mean, it was still a disappointment, and it just shows how easy it is, all the work that's done on the racetrack. And normally it's the other way around. There's the back of Simkowiak's Bentley, and there's bits of tape also now flapping around. We can't quite see whether the bonnet shroud has finally detached itself, but up the hill into Schrijfloch and in great corner. You make your commitment, you try and make your apex. It's bumpy in the middle of the corner, the back end sort of moving around, then up, and then all of a sudden immediately into this master's corner, this right hand corner, which is very difficult to make the apex for.
A look to the inside from Raquelme, but he's too far back to get past Bleekemolen. And still, Jules Simkowiak is not close enough either to pass Sean Walkinshaw in front of him. Through the right-hander comes Vincent Abril for the final time. He and Max Buch took pole position. Buch took the lead at the start, held the lead at the start, and Abril has just had to bring it home to win the race and take the lead of the championship with one race to go. What a showdown we're in for in the main race tomorrow here at Zandvoort. Second across the line, Frederik Vervisch and Nicky Thiem. Good job for the WRT boys, and it's going to be a podium for Nicky Meyer-Melnhof and Marcus Winkelhock. Good run from the Phoenix Audi squad. It'll be fourth place for Blake Molen and Norbert Siedler, so that won't be the result they want. They're going to lose a bit of ground in the championship, but they're not out of it yet. And look at this towards the line. It's just going to be the Nissan of Walkinshaw who holds on, ahead of Jules Simkowiak in the Bentley for 6th and 7th positions. But there's Maximilian Buch. And there is a very happy Bentley team, because they now lead the Blancpain Sprint Series Championship. Let's have a look at the results then after 35 laps of racing, and it is the Bentley HTP Continental GT3 of Vincent Abril and Maximilian Buch that win, 5.7 seconds clear of Frederik Vervisch and Nicky Thiem. Third place is the Phoenix Audi of Nicky Meyer-Melnhof and Marcus Winkelhock. Fourth place for the Rinaldi Ferrari, so they drop back a little in the championship fight. Raquelme Nortelli, 5th. 6th place for Walkinshaw and Dolby. This will also be the grid positions for the race tomorrow. Simkowiak was superb and finished in 7th place. Cacabueno and Sergio Jimenez in 8th. Attila Abreu and Valdeno Brito in 9th spots. Marco Asma and Roman Mavlanov completing the top 10. Bononomi and Salaquadra in 11th. A slow pit stop for the Reiter team. Mean Albert von Turnen Taxis and Nick Katzberg finished down in 12th position. Let's hear, first of all, by the looks of things, from Maximilian Buch. He and Abril, race winners.
Max Buch, congratulations, you've won the race. You're ahead of the championship and you're starting in pole position.
Yeah, good day. I had a good start. It was my main focus at the beginning, to have a good start. Then maybe pulling a gap, but not too hard to be consistent with my tires until the end of my stint, which I made quite well, I think. And yeah, try to make it safe, because we know that number 1 Audi, I got it over radio and I saw him that he's out, so we tried to make it safe, and I'm really, really happy, but we have one more day to go tomorrow.
Now, did you go before the lights went green or not? Because you got a massive jump on the front row seat.
No, not.
Are you sure now? I'm going to have to question you, because how could you have gotten such an advantage?
I don't know. I saw green and
I'm pulling your leg. Don't worry, Max. Okay. You had a great start. Avram, Vincent. Great job by your teammate, super job by you. Clear air all the way through. Now, pole position and a point in the lead in the championship.
We couldn't have expected much better arriving here. This guy did a fantastic job on the Saturday, so today on qualifying he did a mega lap, and for sure it makes my job much easier, but now tomorrow is when it counts, so we are in the perfect position, so we should keep it that way, I hope.
And more importantly, the car's just like it's out of the showroom, unmarked.
It is, yeah, as always, huh?
Brands hatch. Anyway, well done, guys, well done.
Let's hear from Frederik Vervisch and Nicky Thiem. There with John.
Nicky Thiem, you're very happy with your position, but you just ultimately didn't have the pace.
No, first of all, say thank you to be here. It's since Spa I haven't been driving Blancpain, but to be here and help the team is quite fun and a good series. So yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, for the race, the Bentley is tremendously quick, especially on the straight, so it's not so much we can do. We tried to do it over this distance and in a pit stop, but it didn't work. But yeah, we had a good pace, I would say. So yeah, P2, I shouldn't be complaining.
You're not complaining, but no. Obviously you're going to be in the front row of the grid tomorrow. You're going to have the same scenario, lights red, go to green. How are you going to beat the Bentley into turn 1?
Yeah, tomorrow's a new day, and I have a very fast teammate, so I'm sure he will figure something out.
Well, you better do it together. Frederik, come in. Yeah. Well, second place, you must be delighted.
But I can't remember I had a podium, so it's quite a long time. So so very nice to drive at Nicky and then to have the chance with WRT. So yeah, very happy.
Many thanks.
And there are the trophies handed out to the race winners of the qualifying race here in Zandvoort. Victory for Buch and Abril, the lead of the championship for Buch and Abril by 1 point, and pole position for tomorrow's main race for Buch and Abril. Well, what a year it's been in the Blancpain GT Series, starting off way back in April, and now here we are in October for the final 1 hour of the championship season. We've got the overall GT series to be decided, we've got the sprint series to be decided as well, and it will all culminate here in Zandvoort in the middle of the dunes just outside of Amsterdam. It's a lovely chilly day, 10.5 degrees the air temperature, track temperature at 13.6 degrees, and I don't think we're going to be getting any rain here because it's been a beautiful weekend here at Zandvoort. This is how the final grid of the season lines up. Abril on pole position, Frederik Vervisch for WRT alongside him. Then another Audi in third, that's Nicky Meyer-Manhoff, and Stefan Rakelmi will start in fourth position. Fifth on the grid, watch out for Sean Morganshaw in the fast starting Nissan. Jules Simkowiak has been stunning here all weekend. Bueno and Abreu are in 7th and 8th places. It's 9th for Marco Asma, 10th for Marco Bononomi in the ISR Audi. 11th place for Albert von Turner Taxis after they ran into pit stop problems yesterday. 13th for Markussen. Then Christopher Mies is 14th on the grid. 15th is James Nash. And that is how they will line up for the final 1 hour of this season. The safety car pulls in. The final race of the 2015 season is about to get underway. It's Bentley versus Audi for 2 titles, but it's Bentley starting on pole position and Christopher Mies in the Audi starting in 14th position. We're set for a fantastic battle of the dunes when the racing gets underway. Abril and Vervisch on the front row. Meyer-Manhoff and Rakelmi on row 2. Walkinshaw and Simkowiak on row 3. There is the start, and the race begins. Down towards turn 1, a lot of movement in the middle of the pack. Oh, and into the wall. That's the Brazilian BMW, and spinning in front of the pack. Christopher Mies slams on the brakes. Both the BMWs are spinning, and both Attila Abreu and Kaka Bueno are going to be out of this race, surely. Attila Abreu definitely is, but the Bentley holds the lead. Second place is Vervisch. Up into third has gone Rakelmi. Nicky Meyer-Manhoff has lost places as well. The Simkowiak has made it through for 4th place. The good news for Robin Franks is he made up about 5 places in all of that. But, Christopher Mies, I should say. And there is Nicky Meyer-Manhoff out of it, and the yellow flags are out. Safety car deployed.
Yeah, it's been a messy start into turn 1. Full course yellow, so everybody slowed down. Vincent Abril got the message when he got to tires out to Hugenholz-Herpen. But coming down again, the pinch point on this relatively narrow start-finish straight here in Zandvoort caught out the first of the Brazil BMWs, which then ricocheted back off into the sister car, and everybody else around either had to get on the brakes and come to a standstill or take very, very rapid avoiding action.
So across the line they come then, and the green flags are waving, so it was full course yellow by the looks of things that has then been retracted. So the race is back underway. We had no information and message that was going to happen again, and bizarrely Marco Bononomi's in the lead of the race. So Marco Bononomi in the ISR Audi has managed to take the lead of the race away. Now whether that was he was the first to become aware that the full course yellow had been retracted, I'm not sure. We didn't see it. We were just looking at other things out there on the racetrack, but Marco Bononomi's in the lead.
I mean, that car, 75 Audi, it was actually starting in the 5th row of the grid. So how it managed to get from there through the melee and the turn into turn 1 and then come out ahead of the Bentley. Maybe it's just that's very, very astute reading of the rules and regulations.
Okay, and so we're going to also keep an eye out on this, because as they come across the line, Bononomi leads. Vincent Abril's in 2nd place. In 3rd place now, as they come through, is Vervisch. In 4th place is Christopher Mies in the number 1 WRT Audi from 14th on the grid. We've still got waved yellows down at turn 1 for that BMW. So are we going to have waved yellows at the overtaking spot for the whole of the race? It seems like that might be the case. Through the final corner they come, and through Arie Luijendijk. And the challenge is on as they come down towards the first corner. Abril looks to the outside. Can he get the job done under braking? I think he's going to go all the way around the outside here. Great move from Vincent Abril, and he takes the lead of the race. Wonderful stuff from the Bentley. The yellow flag at turn 1 has been rescinded now, so that's a legitimate move, and Abril leads.
So we've now got Christopher Mies in 4th place. He's just under 2 seconds behind the battle, which has now gone to the Bentley. The Bentley is pulling away, so they want to let Christopher Mies get through as quickly as possible, as they will do with Frederik Vervisch, who is now getting up alongside-ish, well, not quite, coming out of turn 10. Bononomi now has done his job. He needs to get out of the way and let the other 2 Audis get through.
But he's nothing to do with the WRT squad. Okay, it's the Audi family, and he is a factory Audi driver, Marco Bononomi, but he doesn't have to let them through by any stretch of the imagination. He wants to finish up as high as possible, and Vervisch has now got the move done. as they come through the right-hander and out onto the straight again. But that full course yellow, that's the first time we've had a proper full course yellow, I think, in the Blancpain Sprint Series. Here comes Christopher Mies. He's managed to get a much better run alongside. He's up into third place, which will, well, if he gets the job done under braking, which he should be able to do, and that will very quickly become second place.
Let's watch the start again and try and understand what went wrong with the BMW, because it looks again, there moves to the centre of the field and then gets...
the BMW comes across.
Well,
Attila Bru comes into Mayor Melnoff.
Yes, so then again you can see now somewhere in amongst all that there's a wheel or a tire certainly comes off the BMW.
The front right of the...
and Christopher Mies has made advantage of that, rightly so, because he wasn't doing anything incorrect. He just read it and saw it and took advantage of it.
So watch the yellow BMW come across to the right in a moment, and then has contact and is spat into the wall, and the zero BMW has to take a avoiding action. And so that's where it all went wrong for Nicky Meyer-Melnov. It was a slow start from him. Simkowiak and Walkinshaw got past. This is the view from on board with Christopher Mies. Away we go down towards turn one. The shunt gets underway, and he stamps on the brakes and manages to avoid it all. Walkinshaw got quite a big hit in all of that too, but it looks as though he's still able to continue in 8th position. And there you can see the points predictions as it stands. Abril and Boek would win overall from Robin Freitz in 2nd position and Laurens van Thor in 3rd spot. And the only way that will get reversed is if Freitz gets up into the lead of the race. And there is Vincent Vos, the man in charge of the WRT Belgian Audi Club operation. Now look at this. There's Bononomi. He's been told, yeah, you can race, so he's gone, okay, fine. Overtakes them all and heads off into the distance.
So Rob Freyan's beginning to process. He's got just under 5 minutes now before the pit lane will open, and I wouldn't imagine we're going to see Christopher Mies coming in too early, but he's got ahead. He's not ahead, so that's been a corporate overtake, I would call it.
Yep. So Christopher Mies up into 2nd position then, on board with Christopher Mies. Eyes focused on the road in front. A little check to the left as he comes down, I think, towards the chicane. Onto the brakes, into the right, and then dropping down the hill through the left. And will he be coming in this lap? That's going to be the question, as Vincent Abril and Maximilian Boek.
Question is the leading Bentley coming in as well as it comes through the Ari Lyondike Kern, and he's staying wide. He's coming in. He's in, so the Audi and the Bentley.
Yep.
I suspect.
Well, I can see Robin Freitz out of the window.
Yep.
So
the lead 2 cars are coming in.
So out gets Christopher Mies. In gets Robin Freitz. The seat insert gets absolutely lobbed, and they strap in Robin Freitz. The WRT guys doing the job on the wheels. And away goes the Bentley. It's a clean stop for the Bentley team. Away now will go the Audi. Oh, and it's a long wait. It's a long wait for the number 1 WRT car. Finally away they go. They would have slashed the gap down, but what happened there? I couldn't figure out what was the problem.
Well, I don't know whether it was that the car didn't start or because it started and you couldn't get the gear installed. Whatever it was, they lost certainly 3 to 4 seconds.
Into the pits comes the 2 car of Frederick Vervisch to hand over to Nicky Thiem.
Just have an eye on this pit stop. This could actually put this car back into contention.
That's very true.
For 1st and 2nd place if they can get a really clean, quick pit stop. Again, WRT, there is the Bentley coming round in the lead. Max Boek coming through Ari Lyondike curve. So it's off the jacks, it's the engine fired up, it's rolling. He is going to come in, he's going to be in 3rd place.
Yeah, so just behind the number 1 car. So now it's all about a race between the 84 Bentley of Maximilian Boek and the number 1 WRT Audi of Robin Freitz. These are the 2 cars battling over the lead of the championship, both in terms of the overall GT Series and the Sprint Series. There is the retiring Frank Stippler, and, well, a miserable season for Stippler and Nash. These are the 2 men battling for the Blancpain GT Series titles. As it stands, Robin Freitz, the car we're in, would win the overall GT Series title, but the man in front, Maximilian Boek and Vincent Abril, would win the Sprint Series title, and Freitz wants to stop that happening, especially after he was spun out of the race at turn 1 yesterday, finished right down at the back of the field. Now he wants to hunt down Boek, overtake him and win the championship, and we've seen Robin Freitz in these situations before. He is ruthless. Oh, and there's a bold move from Stefan Ortelli. punting the side of Philippe Salaquada as he tries to attack, and that's going to allow the chance for Max van Splunteren to look up the inside. Not really an overtaking opportunity there. This is all over 4th position. We're on board with the Bentley. Less than 15 minutes to go now, and that we're on board with Robin Freins coming down into the chicane. Look how much he closes in. Part of that is Constantina, but part of that is just taking more speed through.
Yeah, I mean, he's just carrying more speed into the corner, manages to make the change of direction.
Look how close he is.
Right, now as close as he has been at any point to the rear of the Bentley.
Oh, and he's on the grass. Goodness me, that was a moment for Freins.
Oh, you've been more often than Bob Marley.
Well, yeah.
So even that was just a little moment. It didn't really make any big difference. Let's watch. This is the exit out of turn 10. He's slightly further out of the corner, runs the curb, stays on the curb.
Don't tell me that wasn't a moment, John.
I think it was a moment for the commentary booth. Vincent Voss.
Oh, and another big slide for Robin Freins as he comes through the final corner at Arie Luijendijk now. Vincent April, I don't think he can quite cope. Through the curves of Hunsrug and Slottermacher. Still the nerves in the pit lane. On board we go with Robin Freins. Flat out through the final corner. The gap was 7.5 tenths of a second. Last time they crossed the line, it'll be somewhere it's down to half a second now for Robin Freins. That's the closest he has been. He's gone in very deep on the brakes into Tarzan. You can go a little bit wider through there. And look how close he is now to the back of that Bentley. Into Gerlach, down into the hairpin. That's the Bentley team. They are desperate to see their man Maximilian Buch win the Blancpain Sprint Series for he and Vincent April. Onto the brakes into the chicane. Freins will brake at the latest possible moment. Right up behind the Bentley, tries to get a better drive out. He's got a good drive out as they come towards 2 corners to go. But I think the pace of the Bentley is going to be enough. Maximilian Buch comes towards the final corner now at Arie Luijendijk. He has been under pressure for his whole stint, but he's going to hold on to see the checker flag, to win the race and to win the Blancpain Sprint Series of 2015. It's victory for HTP Bentley. Vincent April and Maximilian Buch are the drivers' champions. Absolute delight in the pit lane. Vincent April in tears. They're going to call Maxi Buch on the radio to tell him what a good job he's done. And here is...
It's on the radio, it's on the radio. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you.
Vincent April says thank you to Max Buch on the radio. Fantastic scenes, fantastic emotion. Robin Freins is still going to win the overall Blancpain GT Series title. But the Blancpain Sprint Series is won by April and Buch. Here's a look at the results after 36 laps of racing. It's victory and the championship title for the Bentley GT3 Continental, run by HTP. Vincent April and Maximilian Buch, the winners. Christopher Mies and Robin Freins finishing in 2nd place. What a drive from Robin Freins, you have to say. And Christopher Mies as well. He went from 14th on the grid to 4th position. Robin Freins then got into 2nd, hunted down the Bentley, but couldn't quite do anything to get past. Vavish and Tim finishing on the podium. Bononomi and Salaquada with their best result of the season so far. And Sean Walkinshaw and Craig Dolby, the last of our classified runners, in 13th place, but they had to retire with 25 laps to go.
You made me cry. You're the best. You're the best. You hear me?
I think so.
You're the best.
So once they are sorted and have got their helmet off, then they'll be chatting with John. And presumably there's nothing John can rib them about today. But let's go and find out from Maximilian Buch and Vincent April, our Blancpain Sprint champions.
Vincent April, champion, how does it feel?
I'm not realizing what we did today is amazing. I'm blessed to be part of a team like this and to have a teammate like Maxi.
Well done, mate.
It was hard to watch, really, but what a season it's been for us. We're over the moon with this result. It's crazy.
Well, I've never seen so much emotion with two team drivers and such joy. When you get out of the car, this is like a championship. Not only have you won it, just the biggest thing in your life.
It is, and the achievement is unbelievable. And to have fought in the last lap of the last race of the championship against WRT, it means a lot. And for my first major championship, I'm blessed to share it with Maxi, and he's a great guy.
Max, congratulations, fantastic drive under extreme pressure, but this is your second time of a championship. For Vincent, first time. You're an old hand at this now, aren't you?
No, not really. It's always something new. I was, first of all, mega thank you to HTP for the whole season. They put on so much effort with the new car. For Vincent, who is like in this position for the very first time nearly, but he did an amazing job like after Brands Hatch for the rest of the races. Thank you to Bentley for such a competitive car and the support from M Sport, from crew and from Cockermouth. And yeah, I'm just really happy. It was a lot of pressure, and I was used to it because he gave me the pressure already in Portimao in the qualifying race. So, but I'm more than happy that I made it.
Now, you heard about the pressure. We were trying to read the pressure. You looked like you had it handled everywhere that once you got in a straight line. But did Robin Freins really at any point make you feel insecure that this lead could be lost?
Yeah, all the time, to be honest, because he was super quick in the second sector. With the Audi, he was super strong on brakes. I saw it all the time in the mirror, and I tried to make the same strategy like yesterday, to make it more consistent to the very last end. But he had the same to give like I did and what I tried, and I tried to use all the strengths we have, and it worked out.
Well, to me, Avril, Book, Bentley says winners. Well done, you two guys. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you, John.
So what an elated Maximilian Buch and Vincent Abril.
Robin, first of all, congratulations. Overall champion between the sprint and the endurance. But, you know, you'd love to have the two this afternoon.
Yeah, indeed. I was pushing really hard. I mean, I couldn't get more out of it. I was drifting out of the corners and tried to get as soon as power as possible to catch the Bentley, but he was just pulling away on the straights every time, and I couldn't do anything. I mean, but yeah, Mies had a wonderful start. When we were back in the grid on P15, no one thought I would be on the podium, and now we are P2, so thank you to Chris, and he did a fantastic job. But yeah, we just didn't finish it.
I hate asking you all these tough questions, but Robin, what happened when you about to leave the pits? Did the engine stall, or would it not start?
No, it wouldn't start. I was pushing the button and nothing happened, and suddenly it went, so we lost 2 seconds with that. It was a shame, but I don't know what the problem was.
But the gap ended up being 4 seconds when you got back on track. You got that down to under half a second, but just the strength of the Bentley on the quicker parts of the racetrack, nothing you could do.
No, the last corner, which is almost flat, and if you drive behind the car, it's just like massive understeer and just losing the front end. So yeah, if you lose the front end there, then you lose top speed, and even though the Bentley is quicker on the straight, so yeah, it's a shame.
Well, Robin, look, you're overall GT champion. Congratulations, you've continued the trend. Every championship you enter, you've been a winner.
Here's a look at the Blancpain GT Sprint Series Championship. Vincent Abril and Maximilian Buch, the champions, just 8 points clear of Robin Freins, and then Lawrence Van Thor will finish third in the championship. Seidler and Seefried finishing in fourth spot in the championship, and then Ortelli down in sixth place. But that's the winning margin in the end. If Freins and Van Thor had been in front, he would have won the title. Further down, you see the likes of Caca Bueno and Sergio Jimenez, who have had a difficult season, and it didn't end well with a retirement. Dolby and Walkinshaw picked up some solid points as the season drew to a close. Nicky Thiem and Frederick Verviche, after a strong weekend, end up finishing in 19th place alongside Bortolotti and Patrick Kujala. Here's a look at the sprint teams classifications, and Belgian Audi Club Team WRT wrapped that up yesterday. The retirement for BMW Team Brazil put them effectively out of contention for that second place in the championship, which Bentley took anyway because they won the race. Rinaldi in fourth place, Phoenix in fifth, Reiter in sixth, then you've got ISR, GT Russian team, the last of our regular runners. So the top step for Maximilian Buch and Vincent Abril. Mr. Eric Weiss, the COO of Circuit Park Zandvoort, hands out the trophies to Max Buch and Vincent Abril on the top step. This is a look at the overall Blancpain GT Series points, and it's Robin Freins who is the champion, finishing 12 points clear of Maximilian Buch. Laurens van Thor third again, Vincent Abril in fourth place because Buch and Abril were split up at times during the Blancpain Endurance season. Ortelli finishing fifth in the championship and then Seidler behind. Further down you got the likes of Shane van Gisbergen, Kane, Merrick and Smith only did the endurance races, and there are the Endurance Series champions, Katsumasa Chiyo, Alex Buncombe and Wolfgang Reip. So here's a look at the teams' classifications overall, and Belgian Audi Club wrapped that up a long time ago, before Misano I think it was after Nürburgring that they managed to win the teams championship there, HTP finishing in second with an Audi in third. Here's a look at the Silver Cup classifications after the Blancpain Sprint Series season. 164 points for Jules Simkowiak. He is the champion, finishing ahead of Anders Fjordbach. Thomas Fjordbach missed this race, so he finishes in third. The top step of the podium and the Blancpain Sprint Series champions are Maximilian Buch and Vincent Abril. The team's champions there are WRT. It's second in the championship for Robin Freins, and there you can see Jules Simkowiak, the Silver Cup champion. Third in the championship, meanwhile, is going to be Laurens van Thor, and it's Simkowiak who's the Silver Cup champion. So victory for Abril and Buch. They win the Blancpain Sprint Series of 2015. Thank you very much for joining us this year. It's been an absolutely superb season. We will be getting underway again next season, the 9th of April and the 10th of April for Blancpain 2016.